So hello guys, currently on a walk around, just on a walk, and I'm having some thoughts. So I would like, I would like to tell you something. You know how I've been recently getting more religious and orthodox, more inspired, influenced by orthodox thinking and all of this, which is good. Everyone should do that because in this woke madness, everyone should be pro-God, pro-orthodoxy, pro all of these thoughts, pro-God, pro-Jesus, pro-Christian, pro-Christian thinking. But I want to say something. I want to say that recently, like in the last month or two, I noticed that in the energy and how I see people and everything, I see that people, like at Tafe, at my Tafe where I go to, well now I'm leaving the Tafe to go to to study somewhere else, but for a while I was 2 years at Tafe at studying. Recently at the end, like a week ago, not that bad. Unlike my school, I left my high school because of the crazy woke gay lgbt nonsense, but this wasn't that bad. And then I realized, before I left, like after a month, I came back from my holidays around 2 months ago. No, not two. I realized that Greece is a lot more orthodox. We should be more Christian as well. We should be proud of that. And then last 2 weeks ago, I think I started. Since I came back and before I went to Greece, I thought, because I went last year to Greece for my holiday, because that's where I went. I thought the first time was due for a cultural visit and get to know the family, because that's what it was, and I haven't been there. I live here, but I'm originally from there, and it was mostly for a family visit. But this year was more of a religious, getting to know God, and more of a fun family visit. And that's what I thought it be. First, more to get to know lost family members and people I haven't seen in a long time. The second one, to know them more and to know God more. And because here it's not really that religious, we get the more godly, orthodox experience. That's how it was. But that's how it was. But yes, so I did get the godly experience, the lost family experience. Since I left Greece to come to Australia many years ago, I haven't had that family experience. And then last year I got that, and this year I got that as well, plus the Orthodox experience, and plus connecting to God more. Was more cultural this year. And then I did get connected, like I thought, before my holiday this year, and I got more connected than I thought. So yes. After I came back, I was talking more about God and being more activist, more orthodox activist style thinking, and then I got more into, teachers more noticing it, and people arguing more with people and getting more into trouble for things that you're supposed to talk about, because this is a Christian country, Australia, Orthodox, a Catholic, Protestant country, Catholic country, there's a lot of Orthodox people here as well, but I used to be very Catholic in the past. And that's we're in Greece. Before school starts every term before school starts in Greece, they bless the kids on the first day of school. On the first day of school, they bless the kids, and they pray to the icon on the back of the classroom, the icon of God on the back of the classroom, and every morning they go to church every Friday, and then they went to an Orthodox school that was like that here as well, and yes, but then I went to my primary school, and it was a shock to find that's not how it really is, and I missed that religious part of school. And now, but anyways, I was getting more arguing and getting into trouble after I came back from Greece, because I wanted to be more with God and on His side. I arguing pro God, pro Trump, pro good thing, that kind of thing, and the evil agenda didn't agree with me. The cabal, all of the people that work for the devil, they're not the devil, but they work with him secretly or not secretly, you know them. And then they didn't agree with me, and I got into trouble. Teachers and students that were kind of brainwashed and like that on their side, on the wrong people's side, but I didn't care. I would do it. And I said, if I get into trouble, I don't care. I have God on my side. So, yes, and basically, what did I do? Oh yes, I ripped up posters, and I didn't care. I said I have both on my side. That when I ripped up the gay posters, LGBT posters, I promote LGBT terrorism. I ripped them up, and no one really cared, even because they were busy. It was lunchtime in the lunchroom there, and I'm proud I ripped them up, because if people don't see, they see it and they think it's normal, and it's not. And I did a good thing, and they didn't even see me, so it wasn't that bad. But I didn't care if they saw me, because I have God on my side, like I said. And then I started a week later. I said I will decorate posters, existing ones that are not LGBT terrorist propaganda. I'll take with Orthodox crosses. So I did. I drew little crosses on the edges and some in the middle, but it's a nice pattern. I didn't try to make it graffiti and shit. Oh no. And then some kid noticed that I was doing that, and then they reported to the teacher. And then, he said, who asked to do that, and I proudly said me, because you should be proud of that. I was proud of that. I did that. I wasn't hiding it like a coward. And then I got in trouble, went to the teacher, and that was at lunchtime, though. The week after I ripped up the posters. The week after I ripped up the posters. And yes, and then before lunchtime, I was in the my head teacher's classroom, like the principal's classroom, yes. And then I got out, but she wanted to talk to me at lunchtime, and it was a duck goose chase. But I was running away from her, because I said I would go back at lunchtime, but I didn't. But then she caught up with me, with the councillor, the propaganda councillor, and the councillor, the inclusive councillor, he looked more transgender than anything. He wasn't very inclusive of Orthodox religion, or he looked more. You could tell he was a bit a little bit based pro-LGBT. You could hear that from him. You could see that from him. Tattoos. You could see he was on their side. And then, yeah. But then he says, let's go out to the class. And then he said, let's go out and clean. To clean. He wanted me to clean the cross. I put a cross as well. Not only on the posters. I put a cross. Basically, I was asked to clean the cross. Well, I didn't only draw posters. I didn't draw crosses only on the posters. I drew a cross, like in Greece, over the hallways in places they have a wooden cross, and in classrooms and icons and things, in hospitals and over hallways in schools and places like that. So I drew a cross very accurately, a very nice Orthodox cross very accurately over a hallway that my class is in. And they asked in somewhere else, some other hallway. But anyways, they said the inclusive counselor asked me to go to clean it up, and to go and clean it up. And I was very, very not happy. You know why? Because, well, I wasn't happy because they support this gay terrorism, but when it comes to Christianity, when it comes to Christianity, they censor it. If it's other religions, they don't censor it. Probably not. But when it comes to Christianity, maybe they're a bit more hard on their Christianity. They're more, if it's other religions, they're less hard because Christianity is truth. Other religions aren't the truth. They want to be more hard on the truth. That's what I believe. So yes, anyways, and I said no, I'm not doing that. And then I did anyways. On the first one, I was on one of them, one of the crosses in a hallway, but the one above my hallway, also they didn't care about the crosses on the posters. They were small and not really nothing. No, they didn't care. Not that bad. They didn't see it as that bad of graffiti. They called it graffiti in the report that followed. But anyways, it wasn't that bad, so I didn't have to clean that up. So I guess some protest signs, some revolutionary cross signs are made to remind the people at Tafe of how it should be. So at least that's good. But they made me clean up one cross, and I cleaned up the other one. But I said I really didn't want to, and I was arguing, and I was saying that's LGBT terrorism, and why gender surgeries, why abortion, they support that. And then he got angry because he wasn't very as inclusive as he thought he was. He wasn't as inclusive as he thought he was, yes. Because he got angry because I was calling it terrorism, and he of course supports this LGBT abortion bullshit. So his inclusiveness came out in supporting this terrorist organization, and also Biden, and also Trump, also no Putin supports anti-LGBT things and calls LGBT terrorism, and I agree with him on that. That's good. At least some people are supporting that. And Trump is more on my side as well. No Biden or Kamala. Thank God she lost. Yeah, America, you really dodged a bullet there, a big fat one. But anyways, yes. And then I left. We were after arguing for a bit. I had to kind of wrap it off. But he wanted the whole cross off. It was a bit there, here, and there. It wasn't very well done, washed off. But yeah, he wanted the whole cross rubbed off. So, so, and I got angry. So I went in. I was saying this is not fair. This is discrimination. And now I walked down the corridor to go back to my class. So yeah. I walked, and but then I had to come back because they wanted me to come back. So yes, but I did come back, and there was a direct order from the head principal of the Tafe of the place that owned both of the institutions, and the very top principal, and also my head teacher also said agreed and that I should do this, and they were all the devil people, all of them, the bad people. They were against me, and yes, so I had to do it, but I was very angry, and then I did it. I cleaned it off, but I was not happy, and I kind of asked for forgiveness later. A lot of times I really asked for forgiveness for cleaning that off, because I really, really wanted to show that I didn't approve of this. And then, yes, after Greece, I got more religious, like I thought I would. First Greece visit was more family and normal. Second Greece visit was more for God, for more fun, for more family, for more, yes, all of that, for more culture. And then after I came back, I was more talking about God after Greece. And then I took down the gay posters and no one saw me, but that was good. What I did. Then I drew crosses on posters a week later and no one saw me. But I, it's like someone saw the posters, and it said about who did that, but I didn't get in trouble for that. Oh no, not really. But what I did get in trouble was for the drawing on the wall, very accurately though. If a cross needed to be above a hallway, like above, I drew two crosses in a hallway and above my hallway leading to my class. And basically, they forced me to. I was arguing, saying it's all of this, but then they forced me. They forced me to 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 to. After arguing for a long time, I cleaned them both up, and I confessed. I did confession, and I said so. I was sorry. Felt very sorry for cleaning them up, but then I know that they will be judged on the day of judgment. So I kind of prayed for them as well. But yes, what can you do with devil people, bad people like that? So basically, I came back. Yes, I cleaned it up. It wasn't good enough, and the inclusive councillor made me clean it up again. And then I went back, and then they told me to leave because yes, they they what happened? The inclusive councillor, yes, oh yes, so they told me to leave because I made of the condition how I was, and upset and bullshit basically, and I wasn't happy, but I did. And yes, and I was and then I left, and it was a week off because because it was a public holiday days, and yes, and then I came back 2 weeks later. The week after 1 week passed, and I basically didn't go because it was public holiday week. And then the next week after that, I came back, and then I also a day or two before I came back, we had a meeting, and they said I needed to sign some bullshit paper about being not arguing politically and being a brainwashed robot, how they want me to be like. And I thought, that's bullshit, but I'll do it anyways. It was a basic thing. It wasn't anything strict or anything, so it was fine. And I didn't need to talk about politics. It was the last week of school. The last week was the last week of school, and so basically I didn't do anything like that. And that was perfect for last week of school. And yes, it was nothing to really talk about apart from talking to someone I know there that supports Trump secretly, and we kind of did that secretly. But anyways, nothing. I was good and didn't really need to talk about. I did rip up my posters. There were crosses on the posters. On the non-gay, ripped up the gay posters. There were crosses on the non-gay posters. I did my job. It was fine. But I want to tell you, this we need to. And then I realized from this in recent days, recently, that the attack on Christianity, on Orthodoxy, and everything like that, and Jesus and all of this is becoming stronger. We're near the last days with Israel and with Russia defending Orthodoxy, and Israel, the evil country, and doing things, and when they're going to strike Iran's nuclear sites soon, because that's what the prophecy says of World War III. Άγιος Pisces says that, and Israel is in a war with Iran. Who knows? So we are living in the last days with persecution and people, and yes, and people doing this, of being Christian people like me and everyone that's actually spreading God's message and being a true freedom fighter, revolutionary person for God, being persecuted. And I want to say that don't give up. If you're like me, thinking to be like me, don't give up. Be like me. Be like God. He said that no one gets to the Father except through him. He said you will be persecuted for following him. You will lose family members and friends for following him. The world will hate you for following him. That's what God, the Bible, the message they were saying was that. So don't give up. We have to be stronger together. We have to be stronger. Thank you for listening. Do not withstand, devour will fall. We have to be strong. We can't let the evil one, the bad satanic forces win. We will make Australia, Greece, and Orthodoxy and Christianity great again. Thank you for listening.